Welcome to the show and our Round 14 review of Super Rugby action that included another loss for the Highlanders, this time at the hands of the Bulls. John Preston with his thoughts on the match shortly. First, a look elsewhere with the Chiefs, no matter how depleted they appear to be, still find a way to win, and did so over the Hurricanes. The Rebels posted their first victory over South African opposition. Despite a good start, the Force couldn't send the Sharks home winless. The Crusaders took out the most anticipated match of the round in style, outmuscling and outthinking the Blues. Another late try by Israel Folau saw the Waratahs safely past the Brumbies, who had led for most of the game. And the Reds were left red-faced after a poor display against the Cheetahs side on the rebound. Well, John, though it's hard to deny the Bulls their victory, I never really felt that Highlanders were completely out of this match.
No, that's probably a fair call. I mean, that as the time started to run down, clock started to run down, it was looking more and more difficult. But one of the things we're pleased about is that the guys hung in there and kept on attacking, and got some reward for that at the end, at least.
No surprises, they came out firing in those first few minutes, and that first try was a bit of a blow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we lost the ball from the kickoff, turned it over there, and they just got into their mode, which we knew that they would bring to this game. You pretty much know what you're going to get here, and they're very effective when they get a roll on and they retain ball, and the powerful runners get the game line, and they just... Sooner or later, we ran out of numbers. So, as you say, that was the worst possible start, unfortunately. But we got back into it pretty well with Colin Slade's first long-range penalty goal, and then, had some positive stuff ourselves.
Your turning point for me, undoubtedly, the TMO being the only one on the planet who didn't see a forward pass in that Bulls try. It was just a kick in the teeth, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah. I can't... you almost get to the point where you just go, well, you can sort of read which way that one's going to go before it's even decisions made now. The only thing we can think is that the decision was that it came off John Hardy's hand, because clearly, as you say, the ball was propelled forward. God, who knows? But yeah, it was a big turning point. As you say, we really needed to nail points when we were down there, opportunity to score ourselves, and then flip the coin at 7 down the other end. So, that was disappointing.
Yeah, it was the timing of the try as much as anything, wasn't it? Not just because it was just prior to half-time, but because you'd worked so hard to get back into the game and had a semblance of control. Yeah,
exactly right, Tom. It was probably some of our best passage of rugby, really, around that period. But just weren't able to finish it off, and that's been a bit of an issue for us, to be honest. You've only got yourself to blame ultimately if you can't score the tries when you get in a position to do so. But as you say, it was a real kick in the teeth with the fact that they got the intercept or runaway try, if you like, which cost us 7 down.
And going into the second half, guys didn't drop their bundle on that, because you had a good level of possession, almost 2/3 at one point. So very much a chance then.
Yeah, we played a lot of rugby. Obviously we had our plans against the side. They're big, and you have to run them around a wee bit. We got a great line out, so we wanted to stay away from those. And a lot of what we planned came to play pretty well, but we just weren't able to break them down, even with all that possession. We couldn't seem to commit enough numbers to the rucks and breakdowns, and they numbered up pretty well. So, you have to hand it to them defensively to hold us out, given we had that much position and, threw everything at them.
The other thing to hold you back was a couple of yellow cards, and both at once. At one point, 13 Highlanders on 15 Bulls was also going to be a tough ask. Yeah, it makes it harder and harder, doesn't it? One of them I wasn't quite sure about, to be honest. But anyway, it happened. And that's just something you got to deal with at the time. It became a little bit farcical, trying to work out who could stay and who couldn't. And Andrew Hall was on and off a wee bit. But, the guys hung in there again, and we actually attacked quite well, even though we were down numbers. Yes, I know what you mean. Getting yellow cards for attempted fouls is pretty tough, I thought. So it's the rub of the green. I know that the Highlanders haven't played well enough at times this season, but you just haven't had a lucky break either.
No, it sort of feels that way. But as you say, Tom, you got to look at that. The fact is we haven't played well enough, because we've played, if we would have won more footy games. So, that's just the reality of it, and it's often said, the better you play, the more luck you have. So, it gets tough when you just need some breaks from time to time. We don't feel like we've had too many of those, but you got to make those opportunities. You got to take them when they come along, and we just haven't done that often enough.
Well, the present a little bit gloomy, but the future has some promise. If you look at the contribution the subs are making at the moment, Ioane or Coltman or Emery, there's some real talent there who want to play this level of rugby.
Yeah, that's very outstanding. I agree entirely. Again, those three, as you say, in particular, just so impressive. Full of energy, good athletes, and they really gave us some momentum too. And big part of, I suppose, that resurgence for us in the second half.
So now a trip home, but interrupted by another game on the way back, and against a team, the Force, at the beginning of the season, probably expect some points there, but they're a really hard team to follow, and not an easy hurdle by any stretch.
No, not at all. No, well, none are easy at the moment, Tom. It's a toughie, and it's the travel. Obviously compounds that whole situation. We've picked up obviously a few bumps and bruises too, and we're on the plane tomorrow afternoon, evening. So you have very little time once you get there to get sorted in terms of training and what have you. But we'll get back into that because that's our focus now. They're certainly a side that we believe we can beat, but as you say, they're pretty tough at home, and they're uncomplicated sort of a team. But again, they do what they do well.
So there's still plenty to play for. I mean, we talk about pride every week, but also there's an opportunity to if you have a good run home, you could end up reasonably, respectably off. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. I mean, we don't worry about that. We're certainly not a case of these boys giving in. We go out there every Saturday, or where we play with the intention of winning a football game. We haven't done it how we'd wanted to, but doesn't mean we aren't trying to do that in the next few weeks. And so we've got to lift ourselves now. Get over this disappointment. And as I say, it's a different kettle of fish when you're travelling home as well. So deal with that, and we need a good performance against this Force outfit.
With the fall of the Brumbies, the Chiefs sit atop the Super Rugby table alone, with the Bulls heading the Australian franchise on superior number of wins. The Crusaders made progress at the expense of the Blues, who have just the 1 point buffer ahead of the rest, led by the Cheetahs, who are very much in the running. In reality, the last of the playoff hopefuls must be the Hurricanes, though even their chances are slim. The poor southern tours of the Sharks and Stormers have taken both out of any semi-final equation. The Chiefs have a 6 point buffer, in fact, from the Crusaders, so will stay in the number 1 spot in the New Zealand Conference, even if they lose this derby clash on Friday night. The Blues have a wounded Brumbies to contend with, while the Hurricanes bank 4 bye points. The Reds missed another chance to topple the Brumbies, as they both seem to stumble on the same week every time, leaving the door ajar for the Waratahs, but only slightly. In the Republic, the Bulls, like the Chiefs, can now drop a game and stay ahead of the pack, with the Cheetahs having their best chance to place a claim when the two meet in round 16 in Bloemfontein. The Sharks, Stormers and Kings are now without hope in 2013.